Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, I am JV, a third year medical student of St. Luke's Medical Center College of Medicine, William H. Quasha Memorial. So this vlog is actually a continuation or like a season 2 of my How to Pass series. So if you guys haven't seen those videos, you have to check them out, especially for first year medical students. So I heard good reviews sa vlog ko na yon because like people have been telling me that it was helpful, and they were asking me, for those who are turning second years this year, they asked me to make a video like that for second year also. So I heard you guys, and I'm gonna make a video for second year medical students. So unlike the previous season, guys, of How to Pass, which was divided into like subjects or major subjects during the first year, right now I decided to just make 2 videos for second year because I realized that if I'm going to share with you guys the resources that I've used for second year, parang 2 videos is good enough. I think more than enough pa. But for the sake of, like an okay length video, I decided to make 2 videos out of it. So for this video, we are going to discuss pathology, pharmacology, microbiology and parasitology, and internal medicine or like medicine. So 4 big subjects. For me, these are the biggest subjects kasi for second year. So before we start, I'm gonna give you guys the structure of this video. So the first one is going to be the general resource that I've been using for every single subject, and then I'm gonna delve into per subject. So per subject, I'm gonna give you guys the main resource that I use, some tips that I found helpful or that worked for me. So with that said, just a disclaimer that these resources might have worked for me, but it might not work for you. It depends on how you learn, like how you study, and like your preferences when it comes to like resources. So it's good to know that these are available right now for you, but it's your responsibility pa rin to check whether it works for you or not. Before I continue the video though, I hope that you guys can like this video, share this video also to your friends. It helps the channel grow kasi I'm giving you guys advice, so parang do me a favor and share this also. Please lang, like and comment and subscribe if you haven't yet. So without further ado, let's get to it. So first, I'm going to discuss about the resources I've used, like in general for all the subjects. So these are First Aid USMLE Step 1 and First Aid USMLE Step 2. So my friend actually made a video about First Aid USMLE, and parang there was this review that it's not really as effective as other resources. But then again, like I do recognize that it depends talaga sa perspective or how you use it. For me, it was really effective. It helped me so much. So yeah, I would recommend it again. First Aid USMLE again is a very structured book for you, especially if you're a second year student na. Use the step 2 because step 1 is basically like basic stuff, like basic knowledge you have to know as a first year, second year, ganyan. Yun yung mga like by heart you have to know these, ganyan. But for First Aid USMLE Step 2, it's really nice because it has key facts and it has sample questions also, so you know which ones you have to remember. Parang there are also like mnemonics, ganyan, that would help you remember things. Again, this is not like as comprehensive as your regular book. This aims to give you guys like a quick reviewer, ganyan. So it assumes na parang you've studied na and then you just want to restudy it. Pero for me, I found it to be helpful pa rin kahit like it was your first time studying. It depends on how your brain works na and how you connect things, ganyan. Kasi syempre, if you listen to your lectures, then parang you retain something from it pa rin. And so when you read this, parang it try to, like connect things together. So yeah, I would definitely recommend these resources. You guys can check it out. They're super helpful for me. So now, let's go to pathology. If you're like St. Luke's na divided yung pathology into general and then clinical pathology, yung mga resources I'm gonna mention would help sa like any pathology subjects. So the first one is actually the Bible of, I guess, pathology, which is like Robbins. So it's called Pathologic Basis of Disease by Robbins and Cotran. It's commonly known as Robbins lang, ganyan. So this is a really good really good resource for pathology. It has everything because pathology is more of like, knowing the disease, like what does it look like grossly and microscopically. So this is where like Robbins is a really good like resource because it shows you microscopic and like gross images of like the diseases, ganyan, para like if you see this, parang alam ko kung ano yan, ganyan. But I would say that like it's too long to read, ganyan. I don't know, like parang feeling ko you think na I'm a tamad student na. Kasi for all my reviews, I always include kapag mahaba siya. But honestly, it's just being practical and being realistic na we're medical students. We have a lot of things going on. So parang, if you get the same yield sa isang mahabang book at dun sa like summarized version, ganyan. I guess you just go with the summarized version kasi gets parang same lang din naman yung yield. So why not, give yourself a break and like go the easy path, ganyan. Everything that you have to know about pathology is most likely here. So if you guys want naman a shortened version, I would say, like yung parang for exams only, I would definitely recommend like Pathoma. Actually, it's a website pala. It's pathoma.com, ganyan. But it has a book. It's called Fundamentals of Pathology. Super duper helpful siya. So yung good thing about this book is that very summarized version siya and then like bulleted points lang talaga siya. So you know na like what's in here are the things that you really have to know, ganyan. So it could supplement siguro yung Robbins. The only disadvantage I would say for this is that it doesn't show a lot of pictures. So if you need more photos, ganyan, parang this is not a really good resource. Maganda lang siya kapag like yung mga tinatanong sa exams, ganyan. So, most likely, yung mga dinidiscuss here are the ones that you're gonna see sa exam. Clinical correlations, like gross, microscopic, ganyan. Like, nandito na siya lahat. Except, kapag you're looking for images. So, as for tips naman for pathology, I would say that it's more than memorization. A lot of people would say that it's just memorization kasi it's pathology, ganyan. But, one tip that I would share with you guys that was effective for me is that try to remember how it looks like sa mga images that your professors will use sa presentations nila. Most likely kasi it would be easier for you to deduce kung ano yung disease or like yung progression ng disease, kung anong stage ng disease, what cells are present, ganyan. If you kind of like know like how it looks like grossly and then like microscopically, especially sa laboratory aspect where you have to like determine kung ano yung mga cells present kasi they look the same, they're like pink, purple, whatever, ganyan. They're all like dots, period. Ganyan, that's it, ganyan. It's overwhelming at first, for sure, but kayang-kaya niya yan. Like, masasanay din talaga kayo sa pag-check ng mga images like that. So, the next subject that we're gonna talk about is pharmacology. So, for this one, I actually just used one resource. And this is Kat Zong and Trevor's Pharmacology. And not even like the main book, ha. I used the examination and board review. This one was recommended by a friend who took pharma. And I mean, based on like my grade naman sa pharma, I think it worked. Especially for like asynchronous sessions where there was like a really limited like discussions ng mga pharmacologic stuff, ganyan. Pharma is sometimes confusing, so it helped me a lot. You can read like one chapter for like less than 30 minutes, ganyan. And then yung absorption, bahala ka na doon. Pero like yung reading lang, parang super short lang. Parang 2 to 5 pages per chapter lang siya. And what's great about this pa is that it has questions right after the chapter and it has explanations pa, sis. Plus, eto pa, sis, may summary table din siya. Like, so if you're like rushing or cramming or like, you just want to test yourself an hour before the exam, super duper important or high yield ng mga tables na summarized na ng buong chapter. But since it's very short, I would definitely recommend you to read the entire chapter, digest it, and I feel like you would be fine. I heard from friends that like sketchy pharma is really effective also, but I haven't used it personally. So if you guys have used it, comment down below if like it's effective or not para to help other people also. So for pharma naman, my tips would be, it's hard to narrow down the things that you have to know sa pharma because like there's so many, and I mean so many drugs out there. So what I would definitely recommend you doing is that during lectures talaga you have to listen to your profs, because sometimes they give emphasis to the ones that are gonna be asked or like super duper important, and those super duper important drugs are usually the ones asked sa exam. So a tip for pharma, if like you're cramming na, you just have to know the MOA, the adverse effects, and what is it for, parang ganyan. So may mga categories kasi, like is it like a neuromuscular drug, or like drug for the brain, or like drug for like like bleeding, mga ganyan. So you just have to know the categories, and then you have to know yung mga like drugs are commonly used, mga ganon, and then how they are used, like yung mga limitations, ganyan and everything. So basically, yun lang yung kailangan malaman sa pharma. So the next subject that we are going to discuss is actually Microbiology and Parasitology. So for this, I honestly didn't use a book as a resource. What I used lang is yung USMLE Step 1. If you go to USMLE Step 1 kasi, there's this section called Microbiology. Parang andun na siya. Andun na yung everything that you have to know. It's summarized. Like, what I love about this pa is that it has pictures also. So like, some of the common ones are here. And yung super high yield na nakita ko here is yung algorithm of how to distinguish gram-positive and gram-negative. Like, it was super duper helpful. This one summarized it all, and then yung mga common ones are here. So, parang if there was a question before na ganito, parang sa exam, parang I'm like, girl, easy peasy, like, super easy niya na for me. So, another one, like, super helpful, which we've used so many times, ganyan, is the CDC. So, if you guys don't know what CDC is, it's the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention website. Basta like cdc.gov, ganyan, yung type nyo sa Google. If you want to read more about the diseases, then you can visit this kasi like super legit yung mga like information here together with like the USMLE First Aid Step 1. Solid na talaga kayo. I mean, that's all you need for micropara. For internal medicine, I told you guys in my previous vlog na I had a hard time sa internal medicine. So, ito siguro may marami akong resource kasi parang I didn't find a resource na OMG, ito na yung parang one-time, big-time resource. Ganyan. Parang there was something missing pa rin. So, I'll give you guys my top 4 or top 3 resource for internal medicine or medicine in general. The first one is actually yung Step Up to Medicine. Like, sis, I don't even know why like my seniors didn't tell me about this. Super duper helpful talaga niya. Tapos, what's good about this is that it has like clinical pearls. So, kung hindi nyo alam yung clinical pearls, basically yung parang like, you have to know this even if you're dead. Parang ganyan. Parang you have to know this by heart. Parang ganon. And what I love about this is that it's very, very organized. Like, it's first may general characteristics siya, and then may clinical features, and then may diagnosis, and then may treatment, super organized niya, and meron din siyang yung quick hit. So what I like doing is that lahat ng mga nasa quick hit, for example, hypertension, so may mga quick hits sila, I usually make that as a question sa question bank ko, which is Anki, because it's super high yield, and I actually found like mga quick hits dito come up dun sa exam. So parang medyo reliable naman yung mga quick hits nila, so parang yun yung mga super duper high yield. So if I were you, if tinatamad ka na or may ibang resource ka, I would definitely suggest Step Up and then check lang yung mga quick hits and then clinical pearls if you don't have time. But this was my main resource for medicine. So the next one is actually an underrated internal medicine/medicine resource, which is Talley and O'Connor Clinical Examination, a Systematic Guide to Physical Diagnosis. It is a really good resource. What I love about this book is the fact that like it's divided into systems also, which is good. But for example, sa cardiovascular system, it has like presenting symptoms, so like chest pain, and it's enumerating everything that's like potential differential diagnosis agad. The only disadvantage with this one is that it doesn't really show it as an algorithm, so you have to read through the whole thing, ganyan, which is like pretty short lang din naman. But I find it helpful like as in not only for medicine but for other classes also. Pero yeah, super duper helpful nito. I was so impressed when I gave this a try na super duper high yield niya. Yes, medyo mahaba siya and it takes a lot of time to process, but super duper important niya sa med and sa OSCE or clinical evaluation, which I'm gonna discuss soon. Last but not the least is probably yung Harrison's. They said that it's a Bible of medicine. Sige, I would say it's good. Pero sis, parang nakipag-essay competition yung mga nag-write ng book na to. As in, honestly, kasi iba-iba yung authors per subsection, parang ganyan. Basta per section. And then, sis, yung mga wordings sila are like parang pang-essay competition. Like, it's very, very academic. I would say, like, parang if you're a bobo person like me, parang ang hirap ni i-digest. And it's super long pa. Like, parang HIV, it's like 30 pages. I mean, feeling ko there's a good reason naman behind it. For me, the only helpful thing about Harrison's is the fact that they have like algorithms. Yun yung pinaka-yield for me sa Harrison's. Kasi if you don't have time na, and then you're coming for an exam, yung algorithms na yun will save your life. It was a really, really good way for me to study if like I know how to diagnose yung correct way. Syempre may progression yun, di ba? So, that was the only thing that I really appreciated about Harrison's. Apart from that, parang wala na. Like, honestly, parang sobrang dami niyang sinasabi. Like, honestly, if Harrison's were like a vlogger, like ako yun. Kasi ang dami-dami ko talagang sinasabi. Honestly. So that's it for this vlog, guys. So I've discussed about pathology, pharmacology, micropara, and then medicine or internal medicine. And I hope that you guys found this vlog helpful. If you guys found this helpful, please share this to your friends. Kasi, you know, it might help like a lot of people. And our purpose naman is to help, not for clout. Siguro like secondary lang yung clout. But, you know, I'm really, really happy when people tell me that it helped them. Kasi, you know, it's hard when you try to find resources pa lang while you're doing med na. So, it's better for you guys to know the resources prior or like at least early sa med school career ninyo. No one told me about these resources. So, lucky you that I'm telling you guys about these na para all you have to do is like, you know, check it out, and then if it works for you and if you think that it's effective for you or it will be effective for you, then you can just like download it or like, you know, buy a hard copy, ganyan. So I will super appreciate it, you guys, if you guys like, subscribe, and share this on social media. Please share this because you might be saving a life of like, you know, a fellow med student, ganyan. So yeah, I guess that's it for this vlog, and I'll see you guys on the next one.